So we've only got 1 week left of the month of April and I've only read 3 out of the 8 books on my April TBR, so it's time for another monthly TBR takedown. The writing's really big in this, which is really satisfying. Really, this is the only straw in this house. There's no good coffee here. Oh no, there's no good straws. I'm never coming here again. Oh, that was really cute. I really enjoyed that. I binged this. I devoured it yesterday. Now, a little reminder before we officially go into the video. This is my April TBR here on the top shelf. I have read these 3 books right here, which is Play Along by Liz Stamford, Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Beg, Borrow, Steal by Sarah Adams. Those 3 will be featuring in another video, so keep your eyes peeled for them. We got The Long Shot by Kendi Ryan, Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez, Nightweaver by R.M. Gray, Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi. This was meant to be Ignite Me, but I didn't finish Unravel Me last month, so we've had to swap it out for Unravel Me again. And then last but not least, Bear Town, which you will all be pleased to know this is our first book of this video. So to start this vlog off, I was thinking, do you know what, I have a bit of time before I go to work. I'm gonna go to the cafe that's near where I was because I was doing some house viewings, and it's one of my favourite cafes around the area, and they're closed because it's an independent, like, family run cafe. They're closed because of family sickness, so I had to go to one that was like the other end of the road. Never been there before, and it was tiny. There was nowhere to sit. They had 3 tables, which is like obviously another independently run place, but they had no tables and they were like all full. They had 3 tables and they were all full, so they had none left. I thought, there goes my cute cafe montage, all thanks to the Cruder staff being unwell. But I did get a iced mocha. Yeah, an iced mocha. I did ask for an iced white mocha, but she gave me an iced mocha instead. But alright, it's a bit watery. The coffee is nice. Like, the taste of the coffee is actually quite nice. And you can actually taste the coffee. It's not just like sweetness. The lid doesn't fit properly though, and it keeps on coming off of my fingers. But anyway, as I've mentioned, I've got a bit of time before I need to be in work, because I've been to some house viewings in the area near where I work. The last one finished quite early, so I thought I got a bit of time to read and we can start Frederick Backman's Bear Town. I'm so excited to start this. I'm scared, but I'm nervous. Like, I haven't even opened the first page. I know nothing about what it's about, and I don't want to read the back either. I don't want to read the back. There's a woman like right by my car picking up her dog's shit. But yeah, I don't want to read the back of this because I want to go into it completely blind. I have no idea what it's about, other than I think the town is called Bear Town and there's some sort of ice hockey team that's a really important part of this town, and that there's, I want to say, like a suicide or something, or something tragic happens. I feel like within the plot something tragic happens, because it's meant to be really emotional. So I wanted to start this vlog off with Bear Town because I've been putting it off for quite a while, and I thought if I read it first, then I have no excuse but to finish it, and I have no excuse to say that I haven't had time to read it, because it's the first book. I have time. But it is in the 3rd person, but that's all I know, is that it's like multiple POVs in the 3rd person, and it apparently switches like POVs mid-chapter. But when I think it was Sarah's video. They said that they found it really easy to follow along, so I'm intrigued to see how I get along with it. But yeah, I've got a bit of time now before work, so let's just do some reading. Oh, straight off the bat, we're literally keep learning about what this is about. Like, chapter 1, it literally says, late one evening towards the end of March, a teenager picked up a double-barreled shotgun and walked into the forest, put the gun to someone else's forehead and pulled the trigger. This is the story of how we got there. Okay. The writing's really big in this, which is really satisfying. Oh yeah, okay, so the there's an ice hockey junior club, ice hockey club's junior team, and it says in most places not so important of course, but Bear Town is in most places. So this ice hockey team is very important to the town of Bear Town. I will stop talking now. Hey besties, so it's been a bit of a while. I've actually picked up a camera for this reading vlog. I've just been so busy, literally I can't even tell you what I've been doing because I feel like my brain is just scrambled. I went out last night for some drinks with my friends from back home and I think I've come to the decision today. I'm gonna soft DNF Beartown because I started this vlog like 3 days ago and it's taken me 3 days to read 119 pages because I'm just not in the mood for it. Like, it's enjoyable and when I'm actually reading it, I am enjoying it and I'm intrigued by the story and the plot and like the tone and the individual characters and their story, and I want to know what happened because at the start of the book, I think I mentioned, it literally says, late one evening towards the end of March, a teenager picked up a double-barreled shotgun, walked into the forest, put the gun to someone's forehead and pulled the trigger. This is the story of how we got there. I'm intrigued by that, but for some reason I just don't want to pick it up. It's just not what I'm in the mood for, and I am the biggest mood reader, even though I just love having TBRs and I love having set TBRs and having like order on things. I'm also a big mood reader and I just don't think I'm in the mood for a general fiction book right now. I'm really not. So I'm going to soft DNF it, which I'm really sad about, and I know you guys are really sad about it. I am going to read this in a reading vlog, I promise. It's just not going to be this reading vlog, unfortunately. But it is still really good. I did try to listen to the audiobook, but I didn't like the narrator for some reason. It was like this really old man narrator, it sounded like, and I just wasn't vibing with him or his voice. He wasn't like gripping me. It was very like monotonous. Is that the right word? I think so. But obviously, as I said, I went out last night, so I'm a little bit, just tiny bit hungover today. Not the best. I have got a night shift tonight, so I want to do a bit of reading. See, in my head I feel like I'm slumping, but I think it's just the book. So I feel like I need to pick up something really quick. Not quick, but something that I know I'm going to enjoy and something that's familiar. So I think I'm going to go with a romance, and that is Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. I haven't started this yet. I've literally just got my back at the ready because we're gonna start this together right now, because as I've said, I've got to say about like an hour or two until I need to have like a little nap before my night shift tonight, and then I'll probably read a little bit on my night shift tonight and then I'll catch up with you tomorrow, and hopefully I can finish the rest of this tomorrow, because right now, what's the date? It's Sunday the 27th of April today, so we have only got today, tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. So I feel like this TBR takedown is gonna be another fail, but you know, we're trying our best out here, guys. Okay, we're trying our best, but I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy this. It's an Abby Jimenez book. Apparently this is the third book in the Happy Ever After series, Happy Ever After playlist sort of like series, or is it the Friend Zone? I don't know. You have the Happy Ever After playlist and then the Friend Zone, so it's kind of like similar to the Part of Your World sort of series. They're all sort of like interconnected standalones, but they're not really that interconnected, because I read that series all out of order. I think I read Yours Truly first, then Just for the Summer, and then Part of Your World, and I think this is the third one that's come out in this sort of like series thing. So I'm going to be reading the third one first, and then I'll probably go back and read the other two out of order as well, because they're like interconnected standalones. I feel like you haven't got to read them in order, and it's not really like a connected series where you have this like big found family aspect like Chestnut Springs series or the Off Campus series or the Windy City series. It's not like a big friendship group. It's more sort of like interconnected in the way that they're like, you might see a crossover of some characters, but they're not like massive friend group, if that makes sense. But this does really intrigue me because it follows Vanessa and the love interest is Adrian. Now Vanessa's quit her job, or her job is a travel YouTuber, and she's quit that job to adopt her sister's baby or something. Oh, and then Adrian's the hot lawyer next door. After all, she barely knows him. No one warned her that he was the secret baby tamer, or that she'd be spending a whole lot of time with him and his geriatric chihuahua. What? Okay, I feel like this is going to be good. I am really enjoying this. Well, I say I'm really enjoying this. By the way that it sounds, I feel like I'm going to enjoy it. And it sounds like it's going to have a lot more humour in there, because if you didn't know, Abby Jimenez is like the queen of rom-coms, but also having that really deep topics as well. And she writes about it so well, and she like incorporates things like anxiety, grief, just like mental health issues, disability representation. She like brings all that together while also having like the humour, but she balances it out so well. And I just love Abby Jimenez, to be honest. So I feel like this is very familiar, and if I can't read this, then I'm slumping, and that's a big freaking problem, okay? Because I've got so many videos planned and I need to, you know, I need to read so I can make videos, because that's my favourite thing to do, okay? So let's hope and pray, cross all your fingers, that I'm not in a reading slump, because I think that would be the worst thing to ever happen to me right now. But obviously, because we've only got what did I say, 4 days including today to finish. I feel like we're only going to be able to fit this and one more book in, but I don't know what I'm fancying, because after this we'll have Unravel Me, Night Weaver or Long Shot to read, so I'm not sure which one I'm gonna fancy. We'll see how I feel after this. Might not even be able to go into the book. This might be the world's shortest reading vlog because I'm slumping. My fingers crossed for that. I'm actually on page 3 and I'm already loving it. So I'm not slumping over here. It was just, I was not in the mood for bedtime. It's too funny. Okay, so straight off the bat, she's already got the baby. Like, we're in the first chapter on page 3 and we're in Adrian's POV and she's already got the baby because he goes over there because the baby's crying and it's like 4 a.m. and he goes over there, basically tell her to shut the baby up, but he does it in like a nice way. So she's already got the baby. I thought we were gonna have more of like her sort of like traveling. I don't know what I was expecting. Reading. I've just been sat here reading for like maybe like an hour, just over an hour, and I'm on chapter 8, page 81, and I'm obsessed with this. Like, the dynamic between our two main characters is incredible. I feel like we're gonna have like a really big friends to lovers kind of situation, but like strangers to friends to lovers, and I'm so excited for this. I honestly am really excited. I'm very intrigued about like Vanessa's job as like a travel YouTuber, just for the fact that we haven't got much of it, and I want to know like how that's gonna work and if she's gonna like still do YouTube, because she's obviously fostering her sister's baby because her sister is a drug addict and her whole family dynamic is just really terrible. She has like another sister and she died from ALS, and Vanessa's really concerned that she might have ALS as well because it's something about being hereditary, I think, and that's why she became like a travel YouTuber, because after her sister died ALS she wanted to sort of like live her life to the fullest that she possibly could. And then her other sister, her younger sister, which is like a stepsister, they have like different mums. She's a drug addict and she turned up one day at Vanessa's door and she's like, can you look after my baby? I'm gonna go to the shop. And then she just never came back, so now Vanessa's fostering this baby. But then like in the back of Vanessa's mind, because she thinks that she's got ALS because she's having like some issues with her muscles in her hand, in the back of Vanessa's mind you can really see she's thinking about the baby, and she's thinking about the baby's called Grace, so she's thinking about Grace and she's saying like, if I have ALS I'm not going to be here any longer, and who's going to take care of Grace. But then we have Adrian, and he is just like the most thoughtful man ever. Like, he's very controlling, not controlling like manipulative controlling, he just likes his routine. You can imagine he's a lawyer, he works really long hours, he doesn't really have any friends, he doesn't have a social life, and he's got some family issues as well, like with his mum and his stepdad that he doesn't really like, and I think his grandmother's got dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that, so he's got some like baggage and family issues. And then their dynamic with him being like really controlling and really routine and set in his ways, he's sort of like a grumpy old man. And then she's this obviously travel blogger, she's this free spirit, and she's like really pulling him out of his shell, and I'm like, I'm really loving it. Yeah, so I'm gonna read a bit more, I think, because I do actually really need to have a nap before my night shift tonight. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna maybe read like 2 or 3 more chapters and then have a little nap, but I'm loving this. Definitely not slumping. Really, this is the only straw in this house. There's no good coffee here. Oh no, there's no good straws. I'm never coming here again. literally just had to come inside to finish the rest of this book because I'm overheating outside. It's literally 23 degrees in the UK right now. That is hot. Like for the UK, hot. So I've got about 50 pages after this book, so let's finish them right now. Really cute. I really enjoyed that. That was cute. So it's the next day since I was done with mum's, and it's the last day of March. Not March. What month is it? April. It's the last month. Can I speak? It's the last day of April today, and I've got a bit of an update for you. So obviously you would have seen me yesterday finish Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez, and I decided to settle on a full star for this. This was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. I think I've mentioned that it follows Vanessa and Adrian. Now Vanessa's a very popular travel YouTuber, and one day her sister, who's an addict, leaves her with the newborn baby, and she's in the process of fostering this new baby, and she's really struggling one night with the baby, and this is when Adrian Copeland now enters, because he's Vanessa's neighbour and he's a lawyer, and he goes across to the room and he's like, knocks the door, and he's like basically trying to tell her to shut the fucking baby up. And from that moment they develop this like really genuine friendship, and just an amazing friendship, and I feel like the development of the friendship was really well done, and I really enjoyed that. But then when we got more into like the depths of the story and like the main message between this book, I think that's where it lost a lot of oomph for me. Like the message of the book is basically about embracing every moment that life throws at you, basically, like living for every single moment and living each day as if it's the last. And that's because Vanessa thinks that she's living with ALS, and there's not really like a definite test for ALS. So in her brain she's thinking there's no point getting tests and going through all these like trials and tests and being poked and prodded when she might not have it in the end, and then she's just wasted like a whole year of her life just being tested for something she hasn't got. So she's just living each day as if it's her last. And I think the ending, like during this book, she has like a really, this is gonna be like minor spoilers, okay? I'm gonna put like a time thing to skip to if you don't want to be spoiled, but it's gonna be like very minor, okay? But during this book she's got like a really bad hand, and she's like losing feeling in her hand, and so she thinks that she's definitely got ALS, and she thinks that she's only probably got like a year left to live. But then at the end of the book, in the epilogue, after like everything's been resolved, the third act's been resolved, and they're back together and everyone's happy, it's just sort of like, oh yeah, no, she hasn't got ALS, she's just had a trapped nerve or something like that. She had like a benign cyst or something on her nerve or something like that, so yeah, she hasn't got ALS. And I think it just, the message of the book lost a lot of what it was. And I think, I know this is really horrible to say, but I think if she had had ALS and she had died, like I was kind of hoping that she did die in a like a weird way, because the message of the book would have been like amplified. But I don't know, that's just me. I don't know why. It's just weird. It's just, it kind of hard to like get into words, but in my brain it's kind of like the message of the book was lost because she didn't have ALS. And I feel like even though yeah, you still should live every day as if it's your last, I don't know, the way that it was written, it was just sort of like done. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, still a good book, 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was classic Abby Jimenez with a mix of like romance and deeper topics, and she just blends them together really well. But, and you just can't go wrong with the Abby Jimenez book. I am excited to go in with the Happy Ever After playlist and the Friend Zone now, because I think we met the 2 couples in this when they were at some sort of like party. So I'm excited to read their sort of book. That's the word I'm thinking of. But Anyway, we have now, obviously because we've only got one day left, we've only got enough time for like one more book, and I probably won't finish this book today, but it'll probably go into tomorrow, which is the 1st, which is kind of fine. We're still gonna count it. But The Long Shot by L. Kennedy, no, Kennedy Ryan. And I started this yesterday when I was down my mum's house, and I binged the shit out of this yesterday. I read about 300 pages. I read all this yesterday. I'm way over halfway. I think I've only got about 160 pages left. I binged this. I devoured it yesterday. I started it as soon as I finished this, and oh, it's so good. Like, I've been crying my eyes out reading this book, the first half of this book, because oh, it's just insane. Like, I'm going to tell you a bit of what it's about. But please, 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 if you're going to go in with this book, read the trigger warnings at the front. And if you think you've read them and you understand them, read them again. Because there's some very, very descriptive things that happen in here. And they're not just like spoken about. You are reading them happen in that moment. Like, think of all the abuse you can think of. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible. And my heart aches for Iris. So please, 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 please read the trigger warnings. So as I mentioned, it follows Iris. Now, Iris is a college student and she really wants to work within the sports industry. And one night she meets August West, of a man August, who is a college basketball player. And right at the start of this book, when they like first meet, they have this like really, really, really deep conversation. They speak for hours and it just feels like that it's them within that moment, and there's no other factors around them in their environment, and they're just locked in with each other, and they just have a really, really deep connection from the get-go. But at the end, when they need to go home because the bar's closing, he goes to kiss her and she's like, sorry, I'm in a relationship. And that happens to be Caleb, which is August's lifelong basketball rival. So obviously, even though they feel drawn to each other, Iris stays with Caleb, and just a lot happens between them. As I've already mentioned with the trigger warnings, you can kind of imagine he turns into a very horrible, manipulative man. Like, all this is on the back, I'm not spoiling anything for you. And he's just really nasty, okay? Really, really, really nasty, and I just want to grip in and just castrate him. But that's sort of where I'm up to at the minute. I feel like at the minute, the situation that she's in, obviously he being with Caleb and him being really abusive and things like that, she's sort of like, this is like minor spoiler, but you can kind of guess is going to happen, but like she gets out of that situation. But it's all sort of like happened a bit too quickly. Like, it's all very sudden. Like, there was like 1 minute something really bad was happening, and then the next chapter she was like, no, this is what's going to happen. But the way that she did it, boss ass bitch, let me just tell you, like, she stood up for herself in the best way possible. And I'm now like in the second half of the book and kind of scared, because we're like just over halfway when she sort of like gets out of this situation. And this half here, like I said, over 150 pages, what's gonna happen? Like, so much can happen in 150 pages, like, and so much can change. So I really hope in this next half of the book we really start to develop more of like Iris, and she starts to get her life back on track. She's able to get a job, she's able to just focus on herself, on the people around her and her family and things like that. And then I want her to develop the romance, because even though they've had this like deep connection, Iris and August haven't really had many interactions, but every time they have an interaction, it's been amazing. Like, the interactions and the banter and the connection, you can just feel in this. But they haven't had many interactions. Like, this whole book is mainly focusing on women who are in abusive relationships, and I love, love, love that message, and it's really been represented really well. So even though that is like the main premise of this book, I do still want the romance between Iris and August to be a bit more developed. So I'm hoping we do get that in the last half of the book. Fingers crossed. I have got work in an hour, so I'm not going to be able to read much when I'm in work. Obviously I'm not going to be able to film when I'm in work either, but I'm going to read a little bit before I go to work, and then tomorrow after work I'll be able to we'll be able to finish this book, because I've got about 150 pages left, so if I can read a lot, if I can read like 70 to 80 pages today, then we won't have that much left to read tomorrow and finish it tomorrow. So let's hope and pray that work's quite chill and I can actually get some reading done. we're going to ignore that I'm on the floor reading the rest of this book, but I'm on the floor because there's a bunch of shit on my bed that I can't be asked to move right this moment because I'm about to sort these nails out. So we've got about 2 chapters left and I fear something bad's about to happen, so let's finish this book together because it's like the 3rd of May. So I finally finished Long Shot by Candy Ryan. Boy, was this an emotional roller coaster. So I've decided to sell on, which is kind of shocking. Like, I don't know, while reading this, I've been thinking about what I wanted to rate it, and some part of me feels like it's a bit wrong to rate something so in-depth as this. Like, I feel like I shouldn't really be rating something with the topics that has this, but I think if I had to, based on like the romance side of things and like how it's written, I would go off like a 3.75, but the other part of me just doesn't want to rate it because it just feels a bit strange to rate it. But like based off everything else, I would say like a 3.75 based off like the romance and the development of plot after the fact, if that makes sense. If you know, then you know. Like, I think I've already mentioned that she was in a really manipulative and abusive, like really abusive relationship, so please read trigger warnings. So I think after that fact I would rate it like a 3.75 because the romance I just didn't connect. Like at the start I really liked Iris and August, but towards the end, I don't know, I feel like the relationship just wasn't developed enough, and I feel like with it being such, with the end and the epilogue and with her finding the happiness, I feel like I just wanted more from Iris and August. I wanted more of them. I wanted to see them more together, but I feel like the only time we've seen them together was literally when they were having sex. That's literally the time that we've seen them together. Every other time they just weren't together and they were like speaking about each other, but the only times that we ever seen them, like I wanted to see them go on dates. I wanted to see them like start to get to know each other, because even though they had this amazing connection from the get-go, I feel like we didn't really get to see them develop this relationship after the fact and actually date each other, because they've never really been on a date or anything. Like, it's just strange. I don't know, I just didn't connect with it towards the end, but it was still an amazing story. I feel like the way that she approached, like Kennedy Ryan, the author, I feel like the way that she's approached the abuse and the manipulative relationship is really well done. The ending, I was a bit, whoa, what the hell? I feel like we went from one extreme to the other in a matter of like 3 chapters, and I feel like the end was really rushed, in my opinion. I feel like a lot could have been taken out and then a lot more could have been added in. It's like a 500-page book, over 500 pages, and I feel like so much could have been taken out, but then so much could have been added in to make it a lot better, if that makes sense. But it was still really enjoyable anyway, and I'm just glad that I'm done with it, because I feel like it was not slumping me, but I feel like it was just really upsetting to read, and it was quite hard at times, especially when I was in the car and I was listening to the audiobook. I feel like that was really hard because you were like actually hearing the voices, which I feel like made it like 10 times worse, because I felt like I was actually listening to these things happen in real time, and it was really weird and real strange and really upsetting. So I would highly recommend that you do not listen to the audiobook. But I'm glad that's done, because now we can actually move on to our May TBR, because would you believe me if I told you that it's the 3rd of May? No, it's the 2nd of May. It's the 2nd. I thought it was the 3rd. It's the 2nd. Yes, it's the 2nd. There's some proof. But yeah, we've finally finished our May TBR. No, we finally finished our April TBR. I feel like this was the biggest fail of our TBR takedown, a monthly TBR takedown. This was the biggest fail that has been since January. So to round off and to outro this little TBR takedown, we read 5 out of the 8. We soft DNF'd 1, so kind of 6, and we had 2 left over, which is a running theme at the minute for these monthly TBR takedowns, is that I get through 6 books a month. So maybe I need to change my TBRs from 8 to 6 and we might actually complete this. I said this last month, I say this every month and I never change it. But obviously we read in this vlog was Beartown, Long Shot and Life's Too Short, and in another reading vlog which will probably be up either before or after this, I don't know, I read Beg, Borrow, Steal, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire and Play Along. So we completed those, just not in this vlog. And then that left us with Nightweaver and Unravel Me, which Unravel Me was on my TBR for 2 months and I don't know whether I'm just going to continue that series or not, like the Shatter Me series, I have no idea. And then Nightweaver I'm kind of excited to get to, so I probably will read it another time, but we just didn't get to it this month. But maybe I have better luck in the month of May, fingers crossed. Hopefully, because I have some amazing reads in May. I say this again every month, but we just do not change our ways. But anyway, I am now gonna love and leave you because I've got so much I need to do. I need to sort these nails out. I need to sort myself out and actually finish cleaning my room. I've been doing a massive unhaul, so you can imagine the mess of all my books on my shelves right now. So I'm gonna love and leave you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts were. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, all that jazz. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.